Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's the Kitty G, and I'm back again with another video. Today, I'm going to be doing my Premier League predictions for the 2021-2022 Premier League season. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this season will be kicking off this coming Friday with Arsenal versus Brentford. And you guys know I'm an Arsenal fan, so I'll be kicking this show off today, talking about all the teams in the Premier League. But before we get any further, guys, smash that like button. This is an upload, so it's not a live video. So I need you guys to push the traffic towards the channel. Help me out, help you guys out. But let's get this show started and let's get this content going the right way for you guys. The way I'm going to do this is I'll be listing the teams from relegation. And let me just show you the tiers. So the tiers are, right? The tiers are relegation, bottom three, threatened for relegation, but will stay up. Mid-table mediocrity, 5th, 7th, and 6th, top 4, and the champions of the league, right? And we have all the teams here: Liverpool, Aston Villa, Chelsea, West Ham, Leeds, Man City, Arsenal, Newcastle, Manchester United, Leicester, Burnley, Wolves, Everton, Southampton, Norwich, Brentford, Crystal Palace, Brighton, Watford, and Tottenham. So we're going to get into every single team and everything going around with the teams, right? First things first, who is going to be in the relegation spots? That's what we got to talk about. We got to talk about who we're going to get, who's going to get relegated, who's going to stay up, what we're going to do, la, 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 la. So where are we going to start? Who's going to get relegated? Who do you guys think is going to get relegated? Is it going to be the teams that got promoted? Is it going to be a surprise team? So the bottom of the table, I've made a list. So I just want to make sure I have my list in front of me before I start the video. Here we go. So the first team that's going to get relegated is the team that recently got promoted and got relegated last time. It is none other than Norwich City. I'm putting Norwich City as one of the first teams to get relegated. Number 20 on my list, Norwich City will be relegated. So I am putting Norwich, number 20, on my list. Yes, Norwich is number 20 on my list, ladies and gentlemen. That is what I've gone with. The next one, who is next, ladies and gentlemen? What is the next team that I'm going to put? Well, there's a certain team that plays Brexit football that people say got a manager named Sean Dyche. I want to see them get relegated this year. I want this year to be the year where they get relegated. So hopefully, I am hopeful that we can get them relegated this year. And that's the team that I'm going for with the next one. I'm going to be putting a banner down for the teams that I'm putting. So I'm putting Burnley. I'm putting Burnley at number 19. Burnley is number 19. Where is it? Let me get Burnley in there. So Burnley, where is Burnley? Where is Burnley? Oh, there it is. Put Burnley in the relegation spots. The next team that we're getting relegated, who is it? None other than Watford. I think Watford are going to come up and they're going to struggle. Watford is going to struggle this season coming back up to the Premier League, and I think they could just get relegated. Unfortunate for Watford and Troy Deeney and those guys, but I just think they're going to get relegated, and I think it's going to be a tough season. So my three relegation teams are none other than Watford, Burnley, and Norwich. Those are my three teams that I have in the relegation spots. Right, the first three teams that I have in the relegation spot are Watford, Burnley, and Norwich. Those are the three teams. Now, moving up a little bit up higher to the next four teams. The next four teams that I have are the mid-table teams that always end up getting into the race for relegation, right? So let's go to the thing. Who do we got? Threatened for relegation. I think one of the teams that are going to threaten for relegation is Newcastle. Newcastle is going to struggle. And I think they're going to be in a situation where they're going to struggle. And the team is just not improved enough, in my opinion. Just Joe Willock by himself is not enough to not keep them in a relegation battle next season. Hopefully they can stay healthy, but I do see them just staying up. But they will be threatening for relegation this season, and I put them at 17. Now the next team is a very attacking team that is really good. Their play style is quite impressive. I like what they're doing. Brentford. I'm putting Brentford there. I think Brentford will finish 16th. in the table this coming season. We need to see how they play. I haven't seen enough about them, but I'm hearing great things about Ivan Toney, and I'm excited to see Ivan Toney play in the Premier League. Next, I think Wolves are going to be my next team. Wolves are going to struggle this season. Wolves have a situation where, just coming off the back of finishing in Europe, they almost got relegated. They almost finished at the bottom of the table last season. They finished very low down the table after two successive seventh place finishes. They finished low down the table last season, and I think Wolves are going to be a team struggling next season with no Nuno, with the injured players just coming back in Hamas, or in, what's his name, the striker. How can I forget? How can I forget the Mexican striker who had the terrible head injury for Wolves? I am blanking right now. What is going on? How can I forget Wolves striker? What is going on in my head right now? How can I forget him? What was his name? What was his name? How am I forgetting his name? Oh my god! There you go. Yeah, got it. Hamas. Yeah, Raul Jimenez. That's the one. So just having Raul Jimenez back only by himself and making a couple signings, but of course Nuno and Espirito Santos leaving, I think they're going to struggle very much so this coming season. And finally, leading the pack, Crystal Palace. Losing Roy Hodgson, having the manager like Patrick Vieira there, he's quite inexperienced when it comes to managing at the top level. He's managed, yes, at two clubs in America and in France, but from people that have told me, Patrick Vieira is not the best manager, and Palace could even struggle with relegation. I do hope that Patrick Vieira does well and he keeps them up. But of course, if it gets to a point where they're in a relegation dogfight, they might actually even sack Patrick Vieira. So I don't have much hopes for Crystal Palace this coming season. Right now, let's get to mid-table fodder. The mid-table fodder would be everybody between 13th to 8th. Let me tell you guys who I have in those spots between 13th to 8th. The first team that I have 13th, a team that I actually was going to consider putting in relegation battle, but I think they're going to do surprisingly well. Southampton. They always just seem to be mid-table, always seeming to just tick away. Losing Danny Ings is going to be a big blow, but let's see how they do. I'm going to put Southampton in that 13th spot. In the 12th spot, who do I have in the 12th spot? None other than the Hammers. I know. You guys are going to get onto my case, guys, but I'm putting West Ham 13th. I think the fact that they're going to be in Europe is going to hinder them heavily this season, and they're not going to do as well as they did last season, right? Next, I got another one. You guys are gonna be angry with me, but the next one I have is Everton. Yes, Everton. I'm putting Everton in the mid-table, and I think Everton are not gonna get into Europe. They're not. They just have not improved their team overall too much. And Rafa Benitez coming in, yes, he can grind out results, but also Rafa Benitez, one thing he can do is grind out results and get teams higher up the table. But I just don't think Everton have the quality to become a team fighting for Europe. I'm sorry. I just don't see it. And I'm going to put Everton in the mid-table fodder. Yes. Now, the next team, this is quite controversial. But I have the next team is Tottenham Hotspur. Yes, I am putting Tottenham Hotspur in the mid-table mediocrity. Yes. Last year, Arsenal were in mid-table mediocrity. Tottenham missed out on by 1 point. In that time, they might sell Harry Kane. They've gotten rid of their long-studded defender in Toby Alderweireld. They brought in a new defender. They brought in Nuno Espirito Santos. They haven't really done too much else. They brought in a backup goalkeeper on loan. I don't really see what improvements Spurs have made to make them go from 7th to anywhere higher. I think they're going to have a worse season off this season. They're going to be starting their center backs. Their starting center backs are going to be either Eric Dyer, Sanchez, or Joe Rodon with Romero. So I don't see how they're any better than they were last season. That's just my opinion. The next one is Jack Grealish has been sold, so Aston Villa are now looking like a serious threat. Aston Villa are going to finish 8th this season. Aston Villa are looking dangerous. They have a lot of good players. They've improved dramatically, but they still have a long way to go to get into the top 7. Last year, they couldn't finish in the top 10. This year, they're going to get inside the top 10. I can guarantee you that. But Aston Villa definitely have improved overall. They have a really dangerous squad. They have a better squad, in my opinion, than Tottenham, Everton, West Ham, Southampton, Crystal Palace, Wolves, Brentford, Newcastle. So I put them there. And I just feel like their squad is better than Tottenham's. But of course, they haven't done it before, so we'll have to wait and see. But of course, I still have my beloved Arsenal a little bit higher. Maybe it's just me being a homer. But let's see. Next, who's going to finish 7th? Who's going to finish 7th? Let me just put that. So this was the mid-table, guys. 8th, Aston Villa. 9th, Tottenham. 10th, Brighton. How did I forget about Brighton? Brighton is on this list, and Brighton is going to be one of those teams that does well this season. You want to know why? Because Brighton are going to finally break their hoodoo of that XG hoodoo, and they're going to be doing well. They're going to be in amongst the pack between Southampton. I think they're going to be in and amongst this pack. So between 9th and 12th, you're going to see Brighton. But I just put them a little bit higher than West Ham because West Ham have European football, and I think West Ham are going to struggle this upcoming season. Brighton have some good defenders. They have a really nice play style with Graham Potter. We have to see what they can do now. They need to just find a way to finish their chances. They haven't been able to finish their chances. But if they can get themselves a decent striker or get themselves a little bit more finishing with that high XG that they have, we'll see. I think Brighton will have a good season this upcoming season. And now we have 7 teams remaining. 7 teams. The first team is Leeds. I think Leeds will finish in 7th this upcoming season. I think Leeds will be a dangerous team this season, and I think Leeds will finish 7th this season. Leeds look like they're a dangerous team. Leeds look like they're playing well, doing a lot of good things, and they could cause a lot of damage this upcoming season in the Premier League. We have to wait and see what happens, take a wait and see approach, but of course, I just think they could do a lot. And with the players that they have and Marcelo Bielsa and how they played last season, I have high aspirations for Leeds, and with a beautiful playing style, I think they are really, really, really good. And I just like Leeds. I just like Leeds to do well this upcoming season. I just like Leeds to do quite well this upcoming season. We'll have to see how they do, but overall, I think Leeds could do the business. And if Leeds does do the business, guess what? They're gonna finish 7th in the league because Marcelo Bielsa is an absolute G, and he can get the best out of all these players, unlike some other managers. But yeah, let's see what happens. Next, we have the next team is Leicester. Leicester have strengthened. Leicester are a very strong team, but they're going to be in Europe again next season, and they're just going to struggle to get back into top 4 again. I think last year was their best odds of getting into top 4, leading the race the whole entire time, barring Manchester United. Leicester were in the top 4 more than anybody else in the whole entire league. They were actually in the top 4 longer than Man City were in the top 4. So it just goes to show you, Leicester are going to probably battle top 4 again. This time they're going to finish 6th, in my opinion, but we will have to wait and see. Now, 5th, do I have Arsenal in 5th? Do I have Arsenal in 5th? Do I have Manchester United in 5th? Man City? Chelsea? Yeah, it's Arsenal. I have Arsenal in 5th, ladies and gentlemen. I'm putting Arsenal in 5th to qualify for the Europa League this upcoming season. I think without European football, we are definitely going to take advantage of that, and it will see us shoot higher up the table. I think we'll finish 3 places higher than we did last season. Finishing 8th was terrible, 2 successive seasons in a row. I think we're going to be back in Europe next season. There's absolutely no excuses, and I think Mikel Arteta will be keeping his job by the end of the season. Now, moving on to the top 4 race. I think the first team that I'm going to put in the top 4 race is Manchester United. put Manchester United in fourth. I think Manchester United has the weakest manager out of the top 4 teams. So based on that, I'm going to put them fourth. But I think Manchester United have a really good squad. Varane, Sancho coming in, really good players. Manchester United do have a chance to win the league, but can they do it with Oli? That's the real question. They still have holes in their center DM situation, but their center back situation has definitely been better. They still need a DM though. Now, who's going to win the league between Man City, Chelsea, and Liverpool? Interesting. I think Chelsea is not going to win the league. I think Chelsea's still a little bit off. They won the Champions League, yes, but it is a cup competition. They need to still work hard to get into fighting for the league first before they can even get to. I think this is the year where they compete for the league. The next year is probably the year where they could possibly win it. But this year, I don't think they can win it. Now, 2 teams remaining. Who wins the league between Liverpool and Man City? Is it Liverpool? I think Man City is going to win the league, which means Liverpool are going to finish second. So I think Manchester City are going to win the league this year. I think Chelsea are close favorites, but the real reality situation is that Man City are probably just going to have too much for Liverpool. The top 4 is going to be these, but Man City is just going to win it. So I think this is going to be the final table. At the end of it, you're going to have Man City, the title winners. You're going to have top 4 of Liverpool, Chelsea, and Manchester United. You're going to have the qualifications for the Europa League for the 3 teams and the other league, the dead ass league, whatever competition. What's the competition called again? The Europa Conference League. There you go. Is going to go to Leeds, and then the rest of the teams are right there. But yeah, let's get into this another time. But yeah, this is my predictions for the Premier League season. This has been my tiers. You tell me what yours are for the rest of the season. You tell me who you guys are taking for the rest of the season. But yeah, have yourselves a wonderful day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm out of here. It's the Kitty G, and I'm going to bring out a couple more videos. Go check out everything that I'm doing on the channel, and have yourselves a wonderful day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm out. Peace.